We going dancing. Mm.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is episode 264. What's going on, Big Mike?
What up? What a weekend it was.
Oh man, amazing weekend. We had the Academy Awards. We had banks falling off. No.
No, I don't care about that shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess we had some other things going on, right?
We had some more important things going on, baby.
We did have very important things going on. You know what, Mike? There were so many things that happened this weekend. This is definitely going to be a full show today. I do want to say a couple things before we get started, a couple observations, a couple things that I've seen on the side before we do get rolling today. One real quick one here. African cat found during a traffic stop tested positive for drugs in Cincinnati. Did you see this one?
No.
African cat found during traffic stop tested positive for drugs. What are you doing pulling the African cat over? That doesn't sound right.
That was my first thought. Talk about racial profiling. Come on, guys. I thought we learned our lesson here.
In a traffic stop?
Yeah. What was the cat? Why test the cat?
Yeah.
Oh, you find out, it's a cat from Africa, gotta be on drugs.
I mean, I suppose if the cat was driving, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you don't test the passenger. Did the cat have warrant? Is it a cat that looked like someone who might have a warrant out? So we gotta make sure that bullshit that they do. Come on now.
And this, Mike, was in Cincinnati, Ohio. This was in your state, your weird state of Ohio.
Yeah, a lot of things have been happening here, so I don't claim my state anymore. I rarely claimed my state to begin with, but now not so much anymore.
Too funny. Also, another one, not so funny, but just an interesting fact, Mike. More albums, record albums.
Mm-hmm.
Remember vinyl?
Yeah.
More albums sold in 2022 than CDs for the first time in over 30 years, Mike. $1.7 billion worth of albums were sold last year. I see people get these and people get into this and, get into a record player, but I didn't think in a million years that this would come back just because the quality was so bad and the crackling and
people love that. They say it sounds so much better than actual like CDs and digital.
And you know what the weird thing is? We had that only as our only source of music at one point in our life. So we know better, and we know that CDs sound better, and we know that, I mean, even tapes, for crying out loud, sound better than records do most of the time. So I think it's just this generation, they just need to learn and see that, you know what, this ultimately sucks.
Like, there's like a lot of boomers, like when I worked retail, man, we would have like the vintage record players come in, and like a lot of boomers and then even millennials would come in looking for them. Maybe this is what's going to help the generational divide is
the album, the vinyl.
The albums is vinyl coming back. People are like, oh, you like vinyl too? So do I. Hey, thanks for wrecking the economy and the planet, but yeah, we can work this out. All right.
Good morning, Derpy. What's up, my man?
Good morning. Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, you're good, man.
Oh, you're gonna be fine. Don't worry. You're gonna be fine.
The introduction of it's the Academy Award Day on this show, and I hope you caught the Academy Awards.
I watched it.
Oops. Well, never mind. That ain't fun then.
Yeah, I know, right?
I thought he was gonna say didn't watch, and then we could scare him in.
I watched it, unfortunately, and I was disappointed by the end of it. I should have fell asleep early because of who won a specific category. Huh? It was actually a decent show. It actually stayed away from. It stayed away from like what it has been.
Yeah,
for most of the part, and it was actually pretty good until like the final 3 awards. Because I didn't like the winners.
A year since Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. I can't believe it's been a year already.
That's a long. This year has been a long year.
Talk about a slap in the face.
Hey-o.
Good one, Derp. Good morning. Glad to see you, bud. We got a lot going on today. Obviously, there was a lot that went on over the weekend. I was just telling Mike a couple quick news stories before we get rolling. I want to just, you know what? Like I said, there's so much. There's hockey.
Mm-hmm.
There's college basketball.
Oh, yeah.
XFL, all kind of things. But we're going to start, guys. I want to start in the NFL today. just because there are some big things that happened pretty much the moment we parted ways on Friday in the NFL, guys. The moment it wasn't too long after we got off, we got the word that the Bears trade the number 1 overall pick to Carolina with some of the earliest news.
Definitely the Bears move right there.
The Bears, you know what they made out though? They got the number 9 pick, number 61 pick, a first-round pick in 24, a second-round pick in 25, and also wide receiver DJ Moore. Who you think, Mike and Derpy, that the Bears won out on this one?
As of right now, yeah, because it's going to be hard to tell with the draft picks. You got to wait years to find that out.
Yeah.
But when you got all those picks, you got the best player in the trade, DJ Moore, 1,000-yard receiver, averages about like 4 touchdowns a year. You need a receiving core, and they're building it up. They're building up Justin Fields' weapons. I think they won the trade right now. It's all going to depend on how Justin Fields works out, how the Carolina works out, all that fun stuff. But right now, they won the trade.
And I think this is going to kind of do Chase Claypool dirty too.
Because they didn't let him go.
You think they're going to? You know what? What a shame! What a shame! This guy. I mean, he had such promise that first year he was here, and I mean, he really looked like he was going to make a name for himself, and he was a physical specimen, and he could do all kind of things, and he was fast, and what a turnaround in his career.
He's technically the guy that sold us that this recent year. He basically dropped a few passes that Pickett threw to him.
Yeah.
And some were intercepted. So specifically the Jets game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If we could have that Jets game back, that's all I got to say. So that's the first thing that I did come across. And then Mike gets a hold of me and he says, dude, do you see Jalen Ramsey's going to the Dolphins? And I thought, wow. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I didn't expect him to come to Pittsburgh. I really didn't. No. I had people getting a hold of me off the show and saying, you know what, Jalen Ramsey's going to be perfect for you guys. You got to get a hold of him. And I said, you know what? There's going to be other teams that are more, they're more willing to pay this guy. And I don't think that's where we're going as far as trying to build this team. And it doesn't surprise me, but that certainly helps Miami get a little bit better, because last year they didn't start off too bad. They kind of hit that halfway point, had injuries with their quarterback and such. Mike, this deal right here, how far does this go in helping Miami, get to where they want to get?
It's going to help them big time. That secondary is already pretty good
scary.
Secondary.
Yeah,
and they just made it better. And my God, because you have Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard at corner. Good luck, beating those two one-on-one. Your back end and the safeties are really damn good too. So this team just got better and better. Yeah, they lost their tight end, but if they can re-sign Mike Gesicki, bring him back, no big loss.
Yeah.
So this helps Miami big time, and especially we saw what happened. They lost Tua for a while. You had to play Michael Thompson or Thomas or whatever that backup bum was. So you had to play him, and when that happens, better have a good defense, and they just made a good defense even better. That good trade for them.
What do you think, Dirk? Jalen Ramsey to the Miami Dolphins.
I think it gets them to the AFC Championship if they stay healthy. If they stay healthy.
At one point during this season, you might have thought the same thing too. Before they hit that wall. And, before Tua's issues started going on with his concussions, and there was a time where I thought, and a lot of people thought that Miami was going to be a team in the running. Miami, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Kansas City, and Miami was the team that dropped out of those between those 4 teams. I don't think they're too far off either. I think the AFC is going to be loaded for years to come. And, and I think it's obviously going to make the way a little bit more difficult for us, not just because of the state that we're in, but just because you have so many good teams. It's AFC heavy.
Yeah.
That's going to, just naturally make it more difficult for the Steelers. Speaking of Steelers, guys, we did release William Jackson III the other day, freed up some money into the free agency. The guy never touched the field.
No.
What a waste of time that was.
But really, it wasn't. You kick the tires on a guy who had some pretty good success,
right?
You're making that kind of money that teams believe that you were a good corner. He was playing well. They bring him over for a conditional 7th round pick. They got the guy for free. I'm sorry, it cost him maybe $3 million in the long run. and don't be surprised if they try and bring him back. This is someone they wanted to draft. They missed out on him, and you bring him in. Okay, you kept him on injured reserve all year. You get him for free, and you see how he interacts with the team, and then does he fit in? And the skill set's there, so why not? They might bring him back on the cheap. It was a win-win for the Steelers. Even if the guy goes somewhere else, oh well. If he signs somewhere else, maybe I don't know how gets can added into the formula for compensatory pick. So he goes somewhere else, we might be able to get a compensatory pick for him, or it counts towards it.
I can see the Bengals picking him up.
They get all of our spare pieces, but this creates cap space, and get cap space. Get the left tackle. Go out and get Orlando Brown Jr. But it's not going to happen.
Speaking of guys that the Bengals might pick up, what do you guys think about this? Now, this is news to me. The Steelers have been, in the talks with cornerback Cam Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Sutton wants a lot of money, like $10 million.
I swear, if he goes to the Bengals, I'm going to be ticked.
Well, here's the thing. Now, guys, where does that put us? I mean, do we pay Cam Sutton this kind of money? Is he worth this kind of money? And if we don't keep Cam Sutton, that just complicates the cornerback road a little bit more for us, doesn't it, Mike?
It does, big time. And
you got to lock them down.
The price of corners and the price of wide receivers is just increasing exponentially. They're becoming, it's a passing league. So quarterback, wide receiver, cornerback are going to be paid. And if the Steelers really want him, he's one of the better corners available. But my God, anything over 10 million for him, if it's a 3-year, 30 million, whatever, that's fine. But if it's longer than that, let him go, and then to see what you can get in the lower tier down, because they don't have the money to get the premier corner. So, if you can lock Sutton up, he can play inside, outside. He was your best corner. And, it's a thin cornerback market out in the free agency, unless you're going to spend money to get Jamal Dean or Bradbury or someone along those lines. You pay him. You cut oh my God, I forget his name already. The guy we just talked about, you cut him.
Willie Jackson.
Yeah, you move that money over to Cam Sutton and just be on about your day, and you're back in the same spot you were. Restructure a bunch of people and then go out in free agency.
Derpy, is Cam Sutton worth $10 million?
In a way, yeah.
I think
I agree with what Mike said. I agree with pretty much what Mike said.
I think that he is too. And here's why. Not so much that he's really proved that he's worth $10 million a year. But Mike did kind of hit it on the head. I mean, we're already in kind of a position. We have Cam Sutton. All we need to do is go out and get that other guy that we're looking for. We're looking at guys in the draft. We're checking out guys in free agency, of course. But, pay this guy a little bit more money, and you have him. Like Mike said, give him $10 million for 3 years, $30 million altogether. And, you're going to have this guy. And as he gets better, I mean, he was, I would say the best cornerback that we had last year, correct?
Yeah.
And you know what?
Best quarter.
Then pay him a little bit. I mean, you're not paying him outrageously. I mean, the $10 million does sound a little steep for Cam Sutton, but you know what? At this point, like we were saying, do you deal him and then start from square one? You know what I mean? Have him gone, and then now we're looking for 2 cornerbacks, and that's tough. You do have a guy that knows the system. You do have a guy that knows the secondary. He played here. He's playing well. He wants a pay raise. I say we keep him.
I would too, because like right now, he's ranked the number 15th available free agent right now on NFL.com, and then you don't see another corner up until, oh my God, I'm scrolling up until number 30, Shaquille Griffin from the Jaguars, but I think they're making a play to keep him. Then it's Jonathan Jones and then Patrick Peterson. So if you let Sutton go, you're gonna have to get one of those 2 guys, and those 2 guys are gonna want that kind of money as well. So it's like who do you want to pay? Someone who's been here, or you want to bring someone out, a shiny new toy?
Right. The thing is, there's no guarantee with that shiny new toy.
Yeah.
We know we got with Sutton. We know that there is upside. We know that this kid's getting better every year. And like I said, he was the best cornerback on this team. You go out and you get yourself a plug and play, maybe one of these high draft picks, a Joey Porter Jr., somebody of that nature in the draft. You pretty much just fixed your secondary issues. You have, of course, Minka Fitzpatrick, KZ, Edmunds, Cam Sutton, and let's say Joey Porter Jr. sounds a lot better than last year, doesn't it?
Oh, a whole hell of a lot better. Like a guy, like if we can't get Sutton back, take a look at someone like Marcus Peters. He's coming off first year back from
an injury. We still have Witherspoon.
Yeah, we still have Witherspoon. He was hurt most of the year. He wasn't playing well before he got hurt. You know, when we brought him over from Seattle, he played really well down the stretch. He was one of the best corners.
He did, yeah. We did talk about him when he was having that stretch.
He was like one of the premier lockdown corners in the league. And it's like looking like, all right, man, we got our future number one here. And he just he was just hurt last year and didn't play well before the injury. So who is the real Witherspoon? That's
right.
That's what we're gonna have to see.
So by the way, as we were talking about Jalen Ramsey. He's going to the Dolphins. The Rams are going to get a 23rd third-round pick and tight end Hunter Long. What does the Rams get out of this deal, guys, besides letting a big load off as far as a financial burden?
Financial burden and another draft pick, because they don't have a first-round pick this year. Now they have, my God, they have a 1 second, 2/3, 3/5, 3/6, and 2/7. So that gives them room now to, like, if they want to trade up, back up into the first round, maybe use their second, a third, and a player, some picks next year. It gives them room in the draft to move around, and it gives them financial space because they were all in on that year to win the Super Bowl, and they got it. So now they have to do what they have to do to get under the cap and get younger, better players. So. Financial burden and an extra third round picks, man, they're still, even though it's now technically the second day of the draft for third round picks, you're picking the first, second, third rounds. You should be able to play within that year or the year after. So they should be getting a quality starter is what they should be getting.
So everybody, here we go. Free agency officially starts at Wednesday, 1:00. But because that is the new league year. The new league year starts on that date is that the 15th, Mike?
Yeah, the 15th, and
beware the Ides of March. For anybody that has a teeny tiny bit of high school education, beware the Ides of March, right, Mike? March 15th?
Exactly. R.I.P. Julius Caesar. But yes, teams can talk to free agencies 48 hours before the 1:00 new free agent time starts on Wednesday. So as of today, you're gonna have people talking. You know what? This is gonna be exciting, guys. 34 minutes, baby. Legal tampering period.
34 minutes.
I can't wait.
People are gonna be flying around the league, different teams, different faces. I love this time of year. Derpy, do you enjoy all this? Do you enjoy the free agency, the faces moving, the different teams? I love it.
I do. I just don't think it's been as big as it has been the last previous years.
I think we're going to see some pretty big splashes this year. I really do.
Yes, I do too.
Well, like look at oh God, who was it? Daron Payne out of the Commanders. He signed that huge contract. Now people want to see Javon Hargraves come back. Guess what? He's priced out. And now the defensive tackle money is going up. Well, what's Orlando Brown Jr. going to cost? Teams that want to franchise left tackle. There's some good players out there. Who's going to pay Odell Beckham?
Yeah, right.
He just had to work out.
I named you my receivers. We should probably target a free agency.
Oh, and like is Juju for around here? All the Juju-aholics. I'm
good.
Mr. Let's cost the player Steelers the playoffs 3 years in a row, Juju, and let me go fly high on borrowed wings. Is he going to be paid, or is it just going to be slapped down to reality again of like, dude, you are a sidecar of a sidecar on that team. Tremaine Edmunds, who has some pretty good numbers, but some bad games here and there. Where is he going to go? How much money is he going to make? He's 25 years old, been in the league for 5 years. What kind of contract's he going to get?
Yeah.
The quarterbacks out there, Garoppolo, where's he going? There's not a lot of sexy stories out there. Like last year when we had, Tom Brady, what's he going to do? There's still some damn good players out here.
You know what?
A lot of teams can change their fortunes around. Like look for the Bears to make a splash. They have a ton of money. ton of money.
You know what I see when I look at Tremaine Edwards?
Edmunds.
He really, really moves around like Ryan Shazier did. He reminds me of Ryan Shazier. They were playing some clips the other night because they were talking about him and Buffalo not going to be able to more than likely come up with an agreement. He really moves around the field like Ryan Shazier. I like him a lot. I like him a lot.
Like, excuse me.
He's my number one. But it really matters on how much he's going to cost, though.
Yeah, I'm starting like Edwards more out, or TJ Edwards out of Philly more than Tremaine Edmunds.
And why is that?
More consistent, like game in, game out.
Okay.
They're don't. I'm not saying Edmunds is a terrible linebacker, and I'd hate to see the Steelers get him. I think Edwards is a more consistent player game in, game out. But
he's probably more cheaper than.
Yeah, he's cheaper too. And my God, that defense is already what, $100 million defense. Like, pretty soon you got to start spending money on that offense. People want to say this offense, it's so anemic. Okay, well, you got to spend money on that offense.
Yeah,
you can't just put all your money on defense and then hope, this offense is going to be enough. There's talent there, but you got to upgrade this team fast on offense to catch up with the rest of the NFL. And I don't know. That's why I'm big on the offensive line this year. That offensive line, yeah, it improved last year, but it's never going to take the next two steps it needs to be like the offensive lines we saw in the Super Bowl,
right?
Or we saw in the AFC and NFC championship games, or that we saw in the playoffs. Dan Moore is what he is. Chooks is what he is. Dotson is what he is. My God, those three positions need upgraded right there. You have a capable center and a right tackle or a right guard. Excuse me. Everyone else is more like backup players, swing players. That line needs a lot of upgrading. That secondary, needs corner upgrades. So that's where I spend my money. I spend my money on my offensive line and my secondary.
We do have a lot to go over, guys. We have a lot. Derpy, you have anything left to say about the trade deadline? Of course, the free agency. We will be going over it heavily over the next couple of days. Of course, officially it starts on Wednesday at 1:00. The agents are able to talk now as of today at 1:00. So we're gonna skip. We're gonna jump forward because, like I said, we have so much going on. Give me your final thoughts on the NFL and the free agency.
Lots of moves are going to be done, and I hope the Steelers maybe get a receiver
through free agency.
Yes.
Hey, P, good morning, my man. Nice to see you, brother. All right, so here's what we're going to do.
I don't either, P. Where's my $1 million?
Another one.
We are going to jump forward to Pitt, guys. There's a lot of big scoop that went on over the weekend regarding the Pitt Panthers. We went into the weekend. Is this team going to go to the dance? Are they not going to go to the dance? And when we left, we didn't even know who was going to win the ACC tournament, Mike. Duke and Virginia, they went at it on Saturday. Duke, the team that's having the down year. The reason that the ACC is so bad because Duke is having such a down year. They end up beating everybody again. They beat
surprise.
I told you,
Virginia 59-49. So this is the down year. This is down year for Duke. A lot of let me get it. Well, we got so much to go over here. So anyway, so we patiently wait, guys, till Selection Sunday, which is last night. In Pitt, they get a Final Four in bid, and they have a play-in game. So here's the deal. Pitt plays Mississippi State tomorrow night. 9:00. It's scheduled for, but there is a game before them, so it could be later, 9:30 possibly. So here's the deal. Pitt plays Mississippi State tomorrow night. If we win, we then play Iowa State on Friday night.
Ooh.
Big space because they're playing in Dayton tomorrow, and then they have to go back to North Carolina if they win to go play Iowa State. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Let's just say we could beat Iowa State. It's a very, very good chance in that next round we are going to be facing Xavier. who coincidentally the coach is Sean Miller, who is a Pitt point guard from the past. When I was growing up, he was great. He one of the better point guards that Pitt had ever seen. So we win tomorrow night against Mississippi State. Now, Mississippi State, mind you, let me break this to you. They are the worst 3-point shooting team in the country. Not exaggerating. This was verbatim what I read. This Mississippi State team is the worst 3-point shooting team in the country, Mike. They are shooting at 27.3% from behind the arc. I think
that's oh my goodness.
Yes. Now, I have no problem believing that we're going to beat this team. I don't know what Iowa State looks like, but they are seeded 5.
Iowa State's always, dangerous.
But check this out. This time next week, we could be sitting in the Sweet 16. Hear me out. Play tomorrow in the playing game. Win that. Get Iowa State Friday. Win that. And then get Xavier on Sunday. And let's just say we could win that. This time next week, we're sitting around talking about Sweet 16. Derpy, do you think that this is going to happen? Do you think we'll be sitting here Monday morning, 1 week from right now, talking about Pitt's Sweet 16 schedule?
There's a good chance. I mean, it's March. Anything can happen, my friend.
I agree.
I would pick Pittsburgh, though, to get to the Sweet 16 with this pass. But they have to be smart, and like you said, they don't really have a big man, and they got to figure that out.
They do got to figure that out. I'm watching the good teams play over the Purdue. I was watching the Purdue and Penn State game. Penn State really overachieved this year. I did want to give a shout out to them. They really went a lot further
baby.
Most
Penn
people
State
would have
Lions.
even.
I perked
they
up
choked.
when I heard that.
But you know what? They
didn't choke.
very
They didn't choke. They went for the win. The players said, "Hey, coach, we want to win."
That was as
close.
I know,
He was like, "Boys, go out there and do it."
You fumbled the bag. You had an opportunity, and they
didn't
fumbled
the bag. They went as far as they could. This team wasn't even supposed to make it anywhere close to where they want.
They turned over the ball and didn't even get a shot off, man.
Oh,
They had 3. It was a tip pass, and then the guy tried to get you reestablished footing, and they called him for a travel, which was in the NBA. They would have let him take 95 steps and dunk it for the win. Come on, Derpy, settle down here, man. They had 3 tough, emotional games up to this point. They played their hearts out better than any Pitt team ever did. Let's go, Penn State.
Now, you know what? This game has close. Now, hear me out,
I'm going to find you, Derp. I'm going to find you, and I'll fumble a bag.
And here you go. This game was as close to Penn State beating Purdue as it was to Pitt beating Miami. It came down to one shot. If they would have shot a 3, made it, they would have won this game. It was the same exact game. Purdue is one of the best in the country. You got to give it to Penn State for what they did. I'm not a fan. However, they made it a lot further than anybody would expect. And to be that close with Purdue at the end of the game in the Big Ten championship, you got to give it to them on that. The big 3 regional teams, like people like to call them, Pitt, Penn State, and West Virginia, all doing well, all making their way into the where they want to be in the into the postseason, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, the one team though, you got to say. Let me say this first. You know what's unfair? And people want to talk about, and you've heard this over 100 times, but Pitt got screwed. Pitt is being treated unfairly. And then some people say, well, you know what, it is what it is. You didn't win the games that you're supposed to win, blah, 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 blah. My thing is this. The way the conference is set, the conferences and the way teams are picked definitely doesn't put forth the best teams. I'd say maybe the bottom third of the teams that made it in, there's better teams in the bigger conferences that could be in, that would be better competition that get in. For example, teams like Oral Roberts. You know what I mean? I mean, there's
they always get in, and then it's just,
well, here's the thing,
they put in the most ridiculous spots.
And of course, check this out. We're going to get into what North Carolina is pulling here in a second, but tell me, North Carolina is not better than Oral Roberts. Tell me, if you would put the Tar Heels and Oral Roberts on the court right now, that you honestly don't believe that North Carolina would beat Oral Roberts.
Doesn't matter. Oral Roberts won their conference.
But I understand. That's what I'm saying. That's what the point is. The system is kind of skewed because the best teams aren't the ones that get in. But you're right. I don't disagree with you, Mike. Now, what I don't agree with is this. Notre Dame, or not, where am I at? Where's my brain? North Carolina. Now they don't get into the NCAA tournament. They get an NIT bid instead. North Carolina says, you know what? Screw it. We don't want to play then. We're dropping out.
Where are they at?
They are in the NIT.
I know. Do you know what spot or?
I do not. However, this is some of the biggest bullshit because if you win and you get your way, it's all good. If you don't get your way, take my ball and go home. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. There's no way that North Carolina should be punished to some capacity.
Why?
Because this is the way that the game is. Okay, you don't see teams dropping out of the tournament all the time because that's not the way that it is. Listen to me. You get a game scheduled and you go and play it.
But they weren't.
I don't want to play. Mike,
they weren't scheduled. They were invited. They were
going to make them look bad, and I hope
they were invited.
What's that?
They were invited and they turned down the invitation. They weren't scheduled to play.
Mike, let me ask you: how many times do you see this every year?
Teams have turned it down in the past.
I know they have, but how many times do you see this every year? It's not a common thing.
Yeah, but if they don't want to go there, they don't have to. They were invited.
I think that it hurts them. I think it hurts North Carolina, and possibly they're thinking the same thing in a sense. What if we go to the NIT and don't win?
Exactly, that hurts you even more.
But I don't know. I think this puts a huge mark on North Carolina. Nobody else is bitching out. Nobody. Even the teams that felt they got screwed, even the teams that did get screwed, are they bitching out? No. They're taking their next game that's on the schedule and they're going and playing it.
They accepted the invitation.
It's such a take my ball and go home kind of move. I think it's ridiculous. I think that, North Carolina, here we are. We don't get what we want. We're just not going to play. I don't care if you like that, Mike, or if you agree with that.
So every time you're invited somewhere, you're going to go.
Mike,
no, every time you're invited, you have to go somewhere now.
That's a stupid argument.
No. That's what you're saying. They turned down an invitation. That's all they did. They said, no, we don't want to go.
You're totally missing the point.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Derpy, am I wrong?
I'm just going to stay out of this one.
I'll take that as a yes.
I think
have my back.
Let me react to P. Morton because I think P. Morton hits it on the head. North Carolina needs to check their privilege. Just go, clowns. You know what? I couldn't agree with
from an NC State.
I couldn't agree with you more.
He's saying seriously.
I couldn't agree with you more. This is one of the most ridiculous things. Why don't nobody that gets what they want in the playoffs, they don't get the seed they want, they don't get the position they want? Why don't they all just not play? Let's just, because that's not the way that it is. Either you're in this to play the sport, you're in this to be competitive, you're in this to, or you're not. So take your pick, North Carolina. And it's not, here's the thing, it's not between me, it's not between you. This is going to be a big mark on this college, and I hope it affects them negatively as far as
it will not affect them negatively.
How do you figure, Mike? This
North Carolina.
Like I went and said, if your kid is one of the top players and you're not going to, you've given yourself the reputation of just not playing because you don't like the way something went. You're a competitor.
I'm looking at the team like,
out your ass up.
The reason why they're there is because
they only want to play in the best. They don't want to play in the worst.
They didn't play good enough to get as the best, Mike. So
they want to go play in the best tournament. Why would you want to play in a second tier?
They weren't good enough to play in the best tournament, apparently. Yeah. That's the way.
I don't even think they were good enough to get in the NIT. They're just there because of the brand.
Like I said, it's not between me and you. This is just the way that people are going to perceive this university. And you know what? I think anything that comes negative, they deserve it.
Let's go NC.
There you go.
NC.
There is one team that plays at one though.
What's that?
Yeah, there's a one team.
I mean, come on,
that plays a one.
See, I think you're just doing this to argue and be tough. Because literally, that is the stupidest argument I've ever heard in my life.
Your argument is stupid. Mike, this is going to be
Mike.
They should go.
Very stupid. It's a very stupid. Mike, nobody does.
Don't want to play there.
This is modern day NBA type shit with these guys that are very privileged, I guess you could say. And they don't want to play.
They don't want to go. They'd
rather play basketball. Then go get a job bagging groceries. If this isn't what you love and what you want to do, if you're not going to do your job and play the next team, if you're not going to go and play if you're not going to go play the next team that's on your schedule and do your job,
it's an invitation.
And aren't they scheduled to play somebody in that tournament? That's your schedule. Mike, again, you're really arguing something totally different here. This is stupid. And anybody that doesn't like the way, like I said, if you're not passionate and you're not going to compete and give the games that are taken, go bag groceries, because that shows the heart. That shows the heart.
Inviting someone to go or do something. Invitation, a written or verbal request.
It looks like a bunch of quitters to me.
Or to do something. They were invited. They weren't scheduled. They were invited.
Everybody's invited.
Mike. All the teams that
they were invited.
All the teams that are in are invited, Mike. Yes. Mike.
They were invited.
We know this.
Yeah, but you're making it sound like it's set in stone and scheduled. They got to go play. No, they were invited and they said, no, we don't want to go. They didn't turn. They're not ducking anyone. They're not playing.
They are ducking
on the schedule. They just said, no,
they're ducking.
Want to go there.
They're not competing anymore. They're choosing not to compete in the thing that they do. And what they're there to do is you get a scholarship to go there to play basketball.
To go and get an education.
You get a scholarship. You get a scholarship to go there to play basketball. They're opting not to play basketball.
I'll tell you why they didn't go, because they have
basketball. So now they're
like, this is literally the most retarded argument you've ever had. There's nothing that you're going to do to change my mind. And like I said, let's leave it to the people to make their own opinions. We have to move on.
I wanted to speak on one specific seed for the regular tournament, and that's Houston. There's a matchup. It's Houston in Northern Kentucky. I watch out for Northern Kentucky. In your brackets, Kentucky. If you do it, yes, Northern Kentucky.
Derpy's calling it. They're winning the championship.
I'm not saying
no,
that.
I'm messing with you.
I meant upsetting. Upsetting.
Oh, Houston. There's always those bracket busters, baby. Those are my favorite.
Because I have a specific. You know where I'm from. Obviously, you know where I'm from. There's the league that they are in for the university, the Horizon League, because they won the Horizon League.
Okay.
And they beat my team that I was rooting for. We made the NIT though, but they are a great team, and when they are hot, they stay hot. So they are dangerous. And if you're gonna pick somebody in the first round, especially for an upset against the one, that's a team.
Houston though, Houston's tough, man.
Houston is tough. They're always tough, but I would still pick Northern Kentucky.
Put some money down on it, man. You first round upset on a number one.
Yes,
you can be retiring now. Go put $10 down on it.
I'm good. I'm good.
Pittsburgh Penguins. Penguins play 2 games over the weekends back to back. They play on Saturday and Sunday. A game against the Flyers on Saturday and a game against the Rangers on Sunday. The scheduling on this one, guys, is interesting because they played the Rangers 3 times within a week. They played them Sunday. They also have them again at the end of the week on Thursday, and I believe on Saturday, maybe. Saturday. So the Rangers 3 times in a week. On top of that, they have the Canadians in the meantime, which is who they play tomorrow. They host the Canadians tomorrow, and then off to New York for the 2 games. Are both in Madison Square Garden, both in New York. They don't come back to Pittsburgh for either of those 2. But let's talk about the 2 games over the weekend, Mike. Pittsburgh Penguins, they start off on Saturday against the Flyers, and it went exactly how we just.
I had a great time with that game.
Did you watch it, Derp?
Yeah, it was fun. I'll just say it was fun.
That was a fun one.
Being humiliated.
Crushing Philadelphia never gets old, ever. And
it's the best feeling in the world.
It is.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Humiliated.
And embarrassing. That was the best part of that.
And that game. Anytime Crosby scores against them, it's even better. It's even better every time Crosby scores against them, because they hate Sid so much.
Yeah.
And look at the people who scored in this game: Raquel, Crosby, Zucker, Gensel, Grunland.
I thought it was going to be a classic Pens game. You know what I mean?
Stars are out.
We were going to blow it, and then they just erupted.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to be a bad one.
Mike spoke of Zucker. Zucker has 9 goals in 8 games since this is since February 26th. He leads the league, Mike. He leads the league in goals since the 26th. He's been red hot, man.
Jason, MF, and Zucker. This guy, jeez, when they got him in, this is the player that we were hoping that we would get when we traded for him. He had some injuries, and he is healthy, and He is. This is the guy. This is the kind of guy you need. Every team needs this guy who just does not stop. The guy has one speed and it's go. He's going to give you everything he has every single shift, and he's just so much fun to watch. You know, my work schedule the past couple of years, I've been able to sit down and really watch somebody. I was able to sit down and watch him intently over the weekend, and you just gain a great appreciation for him because, you know, I see him here and there with a little bit of time I'm able to watch, but no, I was able to sit down and watch back-to-back games. This dude's old, but this guy is just a bad ass, and I love it.
Yeah, they're looking good, Mike. I mean, they're beating these teams that you want to beat. You want to beat your division foes to climb your way up that ladder in the division, and they're doing so. This the 5-1 win was against Philadelphia on Saturday. On Sunday, they played the Rangers. This game, Mike, 2-2. The Penguins did have the lead. Rangers tie it up. They go to overtime 2-2. And who else but Kris Letang buries the shot in OT to win the game 3-2, Mike.
That thing was a missile.
Yes.
Like we seen Letang take these shots from the point, and we seen him bring off the pipe, ring off the glass. This thing was just nothing but net. You know, a great screen from little Jake Gensel. My God. This shows like you don't need that mountain of a man in the middle. You just have that willingness to go to the front of net, stand in front of the goalie, take the hit, and just did perfectly. He blocked his vision, and great passing all around from Crosby and Malkin. Those two, and then that beautiful pass, and then the shot. You have your four best players out on the ice,
and that's what I was.
This is what
I see them getting in the second round now. Just the way they're playing right now.
Well, like I always say, they're always streaky, whether it be by win or by loss. This is one of the streakiest teams that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, they're winning now. They've won a couple of the weekend. I wouldn't speak too soon, Derp. Like I said, they got Montreal tomorrow. They got 2 against the Rangers at the end of the weekend. Let's continue. Let's let it go a little bit further before we make those kind of bold predictions.
Fair.
They're 7-2 in their past 9 games.
They are so. Yes, they're 7-2.
You take that back just a little bit further. They had a 4-game losing streak, and then they had that nice win streak.
Yeah, it's a real shame we lost to the Islanders that Islanders match, because I was looking at the points.
That one kind of stings, but you know, we're moving up the standings, boys.
And like Mike was saying yesterday when we were watching the game, those were the 4 best guys. If you're a goalie and you're in overtime and you have those 4 gentlemen in front of you, Malkin, Crosby, Letang, and Gensel. Good luck. Yeah. Unless you know. I as it was happening, I said, Mike, look, could you imagine these are the 4 guys that you would want on the ice at this particular time? And sure enough, they pass. It was, a Crosby assist. It was a Malkin assist right to Letang through the Gensel screen. It was the perfect. And as it's happening, you're like, oh, I'm not surprised that happened.
A 30-goal scorer. That's a nightmare.
What is it, man?
You 3 Hall of Famers and a 30-goal scorer. That's a nightmare for the goalie.
Right.
So now that puts the Penguins at 78 points, Islanders at 76, but Penguins still have 2 games in hand on the Islanders. So nice little cushion there. Keep stacking wins.
Some other big news. A couple of things about the new guys. Granlund did score a goal the other day. Good for him. But the not so great news from our newcomers, Bonino guys, Nick Bonino. Did you see this, Derp? Apparently in the Islanders game, he suffered a lacerated kidney.
Oh,
yes, he's week to week. Nick Bonino, who just got back from the San Jose Sharks. He's now back with the Penguins, of course. He got hit with a puck and he has a lacerated kidney now. He's out week to week, Mike. Just misfortune in that sense. I mean, what are you going to do, right?
Well, good thing, we got some guys coming up playing. Alex Nylander, he's filling in pretty well. Got to play him. And who was the other one? Was it Danton Hine? Was it Heinen or Drew O'Connor? Was he playing? I think it was Drew O'Connor was playing yesterday. So, like the guys that been bounced around from Wilkes-Barre and up and down and out of the lineup, now they're getting a chance in, and they're starting to shine, man. They're playing well.
It's just,
it sucks because that solidified the fourth line. Bonino did.
Absolutely. It's very unfortunate because, of all the controversy, the Hextall, the trading, the not doing enough, the this, the that, the this. He makes a trade. You bring back a fan favorite to make people happy, I think, in a sense, more than anything. Yes, he does contribute. Yes, he's, a good center for the fourth line, but just unfortunate. Bad misfortune for the Penguins again. Just another thing to put up to chalk on our list of shit things that happened this season. But we continue to fight on, Mike. We do. We have Montreal tomorrow night at home. Then again, we go back up to New York for two games, Thursday and Saturday, to play the Rangers. That's huge. That's huge, being that the Rangers are in front of us. Let's say we could go win 2 of these games. Let's say we could win 3 of these games against the Rangers. You dream of that position when you're trying to play catch up, especially in your division.
Yeah, and God, because the Rangers have, I believe, 80 some points. So let me take a quick look ski here. They have 84. So they're 6 ahead of us. And, Penguins, man, you win 2 games against them. Rangers lose the other games in between the Penguin games. Hey, look out. We can jump up into third. I'd rather have that than one of the wild card spots, but it's going to a lot's going to have to happen, right? The Penguins need to keep playing the right way. And, play scoring situation. Don't just continually jump into the action. If you have a lead, sit back a little, play defense. Don't get out of position to let them have the odd man rush that so often happens. Stop giving up goals early and late in periods. Play smart hockey, and next thing you know, you could be sitting in that 3rd seed. That's what you want. I don't want to play Carolina. I do not want to play the Bruins in the first round.
Oh, yeah. I think they just
at that point, just
they just need to avoid their losing streaks.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And if it's not one way, it's the other. I mean, they started out the year 6-0 or 6 wins in a row, and then they lost a couple. And then they started winning more, and they were 5 in a row. And then they went on this long losing streak, and it almost seems like there's never simultaneous wins, loss, win, loss. It's always streaky with this team. And I can't explain it. It's something I noticed a couple seasons ago, but that does leave the door open of a possibility of being streaky in the right sense. So keep our fingers crossed, guys. Let's address P here. I don't want to have him feeling left out. P, Baltimore was one of your favorite spots to visit, huh?
That's a shame.
I don't know, man. He got the Chechens being his bodyguards.
I got
what
something
I'm reading down in there. So, and those dudes don't mess around. Those Chechens don't mess around.
Baltimore, never been there. I have no desire to go there. I'm sure it's a wonderful place, but
not with wonderful people.
I don't know.
Wow.
I just know that's where the Ravens dwell, and I really can't see myself spending much time. But you know what, P, if you loved it, then you know what? I respect that. What else has P got going on over here? Baltimore jobs in the military. That'll open a can of worms again. So we're gonna get away from that.
Don't make me read the definition of invitation again. It's the highlight of my day.
How's about we do this, guys? Let's go talk some XFL. The XFL guys, they had week four. Week four in the XFL is come and gone. They played Saturday, they played Sunday. And at the end of this, Mike, there are 2 undefeated teams. The Houston Roughnecks and the DC Defenders, the 2 teams that we was talking about. These guys are tough. If you want to watch good football, turn it in, watch Houston or watch DC. They're the teams that are playing it right now. 2 teams that aren't playing very good are the 2 teams that are being coached by the former Pittsburgh Steelers, which are the San Antonio Brahmas, coached by Hines Ward.
Rip.
In Vegas, the Vegas Vipers being coached by Rod Woodson. Woodson last night went for his first win. However, the Vegas Vipers had ran into the DC Defenders, who are undefeated. DC wins this game 32-18. Rod Woodson drops to 0-4. 0-4.
Not looking good. Not looking good at all.
A lot better football player than a coach. But you know what? It's still early. Who knows? Maybe time will tell, and it'll...
He's fighting. They're tanking for that number 1 pick.
You never know. It's the XFL. You could have a comeback.
Yeah,
could have a comeback. You know, we got to figure out what's scripted, what's not, what's the Rock have, what does the Rock have cooking. But you know, this week, there's only going to be one undefeated team left after this week.
And who is that going to be?
You have the Guardians and the Vipers, baby.
The Guardians and Vipers.
Oh, both 2-0-4 teams. When those two meet up, look out, baby. You throw away the record book.
Yeah,
completely.
Absolutely.
And the XFL winning money off of it.
So the yeah.
Good tickets to be had for $11.
The Houston Roughnecks beat the Orlando Guardians. They win this game 44-16. Mike, this is the new highest scoring game in the XFL 3.0, scoring 60 points altogether. Of course, we spoke about the Brahmas. How about, you know what, we did speak about the Brahmas. The Seattle Sea Dragons. Now, they played the San Antonio Brahmas. Seattle wins this game 15-6. I am pretty sure, unless I dreamt this, and I could have dreamt this, but I think no, you know what? I'm wrong. Josh Gordon didn't catch that touchdown.
No, he did not. Juwan Green was the one who got
That's right. But Seattle wins that game 15-6 over San Antonio, taking them to 2-2, while Hines Ward's San Antonio Brahmas dropped to 1-3. St. Louis and Arlington, they go at it. St. Louis wins this one 24-11. Now, St. Louis, Mike, isn't that the team? Who's their quarterback? AJ McCarron?
AJ McCarron.
No wonder.
Yeah. So these guys, they beat Arlington 24-11. And this takes St. Louis to 3-1 and drops Arlington to 2-2. So those are my three teams, Mike. If I'm putting a power poll together, it's going to be Houston, DC, and St. Louis, the top three. Those three, by watching them, you could tell those three are the three that's playing the best football. It's unfortunate with a team like San Antonio, Hines Ward's Brahmas, because you know what, they have a really nice defense, and you could tell me these games that they're losing, you're only letting up 15 points. Yeah, they got a really nice defense. They just cannot score. This San Antonio team under Hines Ward cannot score points for nothing. Nothing.
What was it like last week? They scored real quick and then boom, it was done.
Yeah.
It's like you thought, like, oh man, they came out firing on all cylinders, and then all of a sudden they just couldn't do a damn thing.
Yeah.
But like you said, that defense, man, gave up 15 points and you still lose. That's when you
kind of reminds me of the Pittsburgh Steelers modern offense.
Ooh. Yeah. Very similar to what happened to the Steelers this year.
Hey, wait, we might have the best offense in the XFL. we have the XFL's best quarterback starting for us, boys.
Yes.
This picks back up on Thursday.
trying to get a rise out of Ryan.
I'm reading. XFL does pick back up on Thursday night at 10:30, guys. 10:30 this game starts. It's out in Seattle. Houston is Seattle. Now, as I mentioned, Houston, the Roughnecks, these guys are legit. 4 games. This will be the 5th game coming up, their 5th game of the season. We're halfway through the season. They do play Seattle, which I think is going to be a good game. Seattle is the team that has Josh Gordon,
Ben DiNucci,
guys like this. I think that's going to be a good one. That is Thursday night, and then the rest of the games fall on the weekend. So, but that is a 10:30 start, guys.
Oof, that's too late for me. Anything after
7. I could accept
Everything
10,
after,
but 10:30.
I like 10:30. You know, why not just make it 9 like a normal? Anyway.
Stupid West Coast.
David Bednar, guys.
Another one.
Let's talk Pirates. David Bednar. Now, the Pirates pitcher from Mars, right up the other next county over. He's a Mars graduate. Now, he is playing in the World Baseball Championship. He got to throw the other night. They played United Kingdom, and then they also played Mexico. In his first,
I don't want to talk about the Mexico one.
Yeah, his first action. You're right. In the United Kingdom game, he goes in 18 pitches, mows down the side, strikes. I think he struck out the side. 3 up, 3 down. Pretty good performance. This guy, Mike, he will be a bright spot on this Pittsburgh Pirates team. Like I said, he's bringing it. He's bringing it. He's bringing it. But I don't know.
Lifetime record of 6-7.
He is going to be a bright spot on this Pirates team.
Well, shit, man. Like, I could be a bright spot on the Pirates team.
The Pirates
out there be the third base coach
on Friday to Philadelphia. They lost 10-4. Let me just prove you. Let me support your argument, Mike, for once.
Oh God! Mark this down. Ryan's supporting me.
So they on Friday they played Philadelphia. Now, mind you, it's only spring training, but they lose. They lose 10-4. Saturday they play the Yankees again. Spring training, they win this one 3-0. Sunday they play the Braves one more time. Spring training, they lose 11-3. But you know what? This feels like more of the same. They have if you're reading down the lineup, you're not impressed, but you're like, okay, this isn't going to be as bad as it usually is. But like I said, guys, here we are, Pittsburgh Pirates. David Bednar, 6-7 career pitcher.
Look out! The Buccos might lose only 95 games instead of 100. Oh, baby, race the Jolly Roger.
Derpy, does the Pirates lose 100 games this year?
Nah.
No?
90. About 90.
That's so much better.
You know what, though?
About 90.
I tell you what, though, you look on Pirates Twitter, they will take 91s as it's a huge success.
The Falcons just signed a guard, I think.
Yeah, I just saw that. That just popped up. Pro Bowl guard Lindstrom to a 5-year, $105 million contract extension. He's not hitting the free agency market.
But the Pirates do continue today. They play Baltimore at 105. If you were into the Pirates, you might be into that. If you're like everybody else, you're probably still in Penguin season, still in Pitt season, and still in getting into the NFL season. But anybody else
for the new upgraded billboards.
They do play today at 5 against Baltimore. Mike, do you want to go and tell everybody about the website?
Ooh, the number 2, dumbyinzers.com. Head on over there. We have everything you need for us. YouTube, Spotify, Anchor links, links for emails, Facebook, all that fun stuff over at 2dumbyinzers.com.
www.2dumbyinzers.com. Go check it out, everybody. We are live here every day through the week, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the show that we do this day gets uploaded this evening over on Spotify. That goes the whole way through the week. 8 o'clock in the evening, if you just have time to listen to the show, maybe on the way to work, in the car, at the gym with your earbuds, we are over on Spotify. This episode will be uploaded at 8 o'clock this evening. Do we got time for a quick trivia, Mike?
Yeah, always.
I do want to say real quick, guys, did anybody just before we go, because I just seen something that P wrote, and did you guys see the time clock in baseball that they're practicing and trying to roll out in the major leagues? I love the time clock. I could literally sit there and watch baseball again. I couldn't believe how easy it was to watch the game. There's so much fluff in this game. The pitchers, the batters, everybody's got to take time to do this, rub their nose, grab their crotch. This clock is amazing. The baseball needs things like this to save the sport. I just want to say that.
I think it's fun seeing everyone adjust into it, getting all these penalties for it.
You know what? I agree. And I think fan-wise, I think most fans, especially younger people, are going to like it. I think the older fans are not going to like it because it's non-traditional. However, younger people and you know, you quick people. You got
to do it for the time changes.
Absolutely. Too much fluff. It's impossible.
And I played baseball when I was younger. It definitely needs something to change.
And especially, like I said, for teams that are good, like the Yankees, it's not too bad to watch all the time. But if you have any other team in the league, Pirates, Royals, Detroit, any of these teams, it's so hard to sit there for 3 hours and watch one of these games. This is definitely what this league needs to keep its head above water. I hope they continue to work on it to make things better. 2-minute warning, guys. Here we go. Now, talking about baseball, talking about the Pirates, talking about the Orioles, we're going to go a Pittsburgh Pirates trivia today. Pittsburgh Pirates trivia, Mike. How confident are you feeling for a Pittsburgh Pirate trivia?
Not overly confident.
Not overly confident. What about you, Derp? If this was Jeopardy, would you be putting a lot of money up?
No.
All right, just the way I like it. Here we go. Question of the day. In 1979 World Series, the Pittsburgh Pirates adopted the theme song, "We Are Family." Who did they beat that year in the World Series? In 1979, the Pirates adopted "We Are Family," the theme song for the World Series team.
Orioles.
Who did they beat? And
it's Orioles.
Hold on. We gotta. Mike, scratch your head like you're thinking. If somebody's tuning in right now.
Oh, I'm thinking a lot of things right now. I'm thinking a lot of things.
I'm thinking for a Shamrock Shake right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it does not surprise me you guys are thinking about food. I'm surprised we made it this long, to be honest.
I had steak and eggs for breakfast today, so I'm doing good.
All right. Pencils down, guys. Derpy, I'm going to come to you first. The song, which has absolutely nothing to do with the question, I did that to try to throw you off. 1979 World Series, Pittsburgh Pirates adopted the theme song "We Are Family." Who did the Pirates beat that year in the World Series?
I'm gonna go with the Oakland A's.
The Oakland A's. And is that
I believe they were American, right? They were American
Yes.
League, right? Okay, yeah.
So
I'm gonna go with Oakland A's.
That's your final answer?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and lock. I'm gonna lock our friend Derpy in. There we go. He's locked in. Mike, we're looking for the team that the Pirates beat in the 1979 World Series.
Baltimore Orioles.
Baltimore Orioles?
Yes.
Is that who you said?
Yes.
Okay. We'll lock you in. All right. So here we go. In 1979, the Pittsburgh Pirates played in the World Series. They adopted the theme song "We Are Family." Who did the Pirates play? Derpy says the Oakland A's, and that, of course, is incorrect.
Oh.
So sorry. Mike, you said who the Pittsburgh Pirates played in the World Series in 1979 was the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles. And that's your final answer.
My final answer.
And that is correct. That's correct. The children love you, Mike.
As they should. People love me.
Hey, you're a Penn State guy. What can you expect? All right. Hey, Derpy, do you have anything to say before we end this show?
It's a remark about the Browns.
Okay.
It's somewhat similar to yesterday's, but
all right.
Here we go.
Like it. We like it.
Give me a second. Hold on.
All
right. True. Why you got to do that to me?
All right. Derpy,
Here we go. Treat yourself today with a Shamrock Shake, folks. You could have a bad taste in your mouth today being a Browns fan.
I like it, Derpy. It doesn't surprise me. They had something to do with a food product. Mike, do you have any words of the wise today before we take off, my man?
Drink up, boys. NFL free agency starting.
There you go. NFL free agency. As soon as we get off the air here, I'm gonna be tuned in, trying to find out who's talking to who might be going where. Tomorrow's gonna be a big day, guys. We got the Penguins back in action. We have a Pitt play-in game tomorrow. We have free agency kicking off today, unofficially. But you know what? Nonetheless, everybody, enjoy your day. Have a great one. For Mike, Ryan, Derpy, the two dumb yinzers, we'll see you tomorrow.